Hi, welcome to another episode of Small Doses with Laura Sell. Remember, this season I am sharing things about my personal health journey. So, I'm not a doctor and I don't play one on TV, but if anything can happen from my sharing my personal experiences, maybe you will learn questions that you can ask your own medical care providers. Maybe it will open you up to have conversations with your family and friends about your medical situation. We definitely need to share more with our families because they share our DNA. And some things actually are hereditary and some things are not. Some things are caused by what we eat. So, anyway, when I left you the last time, I talked about my journey of supporting the billion trillion dollar diet industry. And unfortunately, I wish I had that money that I spent all those years chasing the perfect weight loss plan. So we talked about the AIDS candy and the Slim Fast, and back when Nutrisystem was a standalone building that you had to go to. It wasn't a 800 number or email to get packaged food sent to your door. Well, that was not those were not the only programs that I participated in. At one point, there was this cabbage soup diet thing that went around. I tried that, and that was at a point when I didn't even like cabbage. Then there was a boiled egg thing. I remember. I don't remember exactly what it was, but I do remember there was a lot of boiled eggs going on with that particular eating plan. Fad diets, they come and they go. They come and they go. And what happens basically is some celebrity tries this thing to lose weight to get ready for a film or some kind of thing. And then the world finds out about it and it hits all the magazines. And before you know it, everybody's trying all this crazy stuff. So I want to say a couple of years ago after Beyonce had her babies, there was something with some cayenne pepper and everybody was trying to do that. And I'm like, oh, here we go again on the roller coaster thing. So, yeah, but that's not all the crazy things that I did. But as I got older and I started doing more research in more recent years, in this new millennium, I found some things that actually put me on a path, and I call this my race, my journey, my race toward a healthier me. So, about 10 years ago, I set a goal to lose 50 pounds in time for my 50th birthday. I had been in a car accident and I had a whole lot of pain and anguish from that, and put on quite a bit of weight because I became sedentary because it was painful to move. And so as I was getting better from that car accident, I was like, I've got to lose this weight. I've got to start back moving again because I've always enjoyed exercise. So I had been doing Zumba with the DVDs that came out around like 2001 or so. I know I was still living in Texas when it came out, and so I would do the Zumba DVDs, and I found out from a very good friend that her daughter was going to local classes, and I was like, "What? There's a such thing as a local Zumba class? I must go." And I did, and I got really involved with Zumba. But before that, I was doing line dancing with another local business, and oh my gosh, I was having a good time with that. But while I was doing the line dancing and the Zumba, I invested in a program called Ideal Protein. Well, I found out about the Ideal Protein through the chiropractor that was taking care of me as a result of the car accident. See how that works? So they had this product there and it says, never go on a diet again. This will be your last time ever doing anything to ever lose weight. And I was like, okay, you got me in and this is it. I won't have to do anything else. So I take the brochures home, I read it, and I get involved with Ideal Protein. Uh, the program wasn't really bad. I don't know what was in the protein packs because I never thought that much about reading labels to the degree I know about reading labels now. But you drank this protein as a meal replacement for your breakfast and your lunch. And for dinner, you ate leafy greens, a lean protein. And after that, if you still needed something, you could have another protein shake. Wasn't too bad. Well, on that program, I did. I lost the 50 pounds and I was dancing and I was doing Zumba. And I mean, I got so involved in Zumba that I was doing Zumba uh, up to 5 times a day and sometimes twice a day. And I was finding Zumba wherever Zumba was happening. I was going to all the Zumba-thons. If they said the word Zumba here in my hometown, baby, I was there. The cut-up T-shirts, all of that, was doing the thing. Loved every minute of it. So much so that I went and got my license to actually teach Zumba. I became like the biggest Zumba enthusiast ever. And even when I'd go on vacation with my girlfriends, everybody had bring some shorts, bring some workout pants. We gonna do Zumba when we wake up in the morning. Some of them loved me for it. Some of them hated me for it. And some of it did it just because it was me. But anyway, so Ideal Protein. What I learned from that program was the leafy greens and the lean meats. The salad dressings were limited. They told you what you could and couldn't use. I can't remember what it was, but I'm pretty sure they were low in sugar. I couldn't have any fruit, anything with any sugar in it, because it would definitely throw off your weight loss. And I would have to go in every week and be measured and be weighed. And so Ideal Protein did work for me for the goal I had set. And the goal was to lose weight. My goal has shifted. My goal is no longer just to lose weight. My goal is to be healthy. So, anyway, I did that program. In fact, I actually went back to it later after I saw some weight coming back, and I went back and did it again. So it was a great program for getting the weight off. But after I had done the Ideal Protein and I stopped using it, I turned on my TV one day and there's this guy named Joe Cross. He's an Australian guy who does the juicing thing. And he had a DVD out. And I want to say they aired it on one of the streaming channels. I can't remember. So anyway, I watched his story and I was just amazed. And then he was talking about juicing natural organic fruits and vegetables, and how he ended his cycle of disease. He had a whole lot of stuff going on, like I got a lot of stuff going on. And he juiced and he got healthy. And he was going around the world, not just to his country or our country. He went to several places around the world. And he was introducing people to juicing. And they were sharing their testimonies of how they juiced and they corrected their health situations and they were no longer on medications. And so I was like, well, I got to try this juicing thing. So I did. And I did a 30-day juice fast and I lost weight and my skin cleared up and my aches and pains were gone. And that's when I got brave enough to get off my medicine for my rheumatoid arthritis. I was like, I don't think I need it. So I started weaning myself off of it. And sure enough, I had gone a week without it, a month without it, 2 months without it. And before I know it, I had done about 18 months, almost 2 years without this particular medication and was feeling fantastic. And I wasn't juice fasting anymore. I was just drinking a few juices a day, but I had reincorporated eating vegetables and lean meat, with my juicing. And I was doing really well. Then life happened. I don't remember what part of life happened, but before I know it, I was back on the bread and the rice and the potatoes, the things that I love dearly. Those are my favorite go-to carbs, straight to the vein, potatoes, rice, and bread. That's my mom and daddy should have named me potato, rice, and bread. So anyway, I fell off the juicing wagon. So Ideal Protein, juicing, and occasionally I would make juice, but if I'm honest, juicing was a lot of work because you got to clean and prep your veggies. And I had a masticating juicer. I didn't have the centrifugal juicer that spins it around, because I did my research before I bought my juicer. And the masticating juicer was recommended highly because it actually, like your teeth chews up your food, it actually chews up the plants and, got all of the stuff out. So anyway, after I started picking back up the weight and going back and forth of trying to lose it again, I heard about this woman named J.J. Smith. And J.J. Smith is the queen of the green smoothie cleanse. And she'll tell you, she didn't invent green smoothies, but she did invent the 10-day green smoothie cleanse. So I got really caught up with that program, and I still make smoothies from time to time now. 80% vegetables, 20% fruit. Sometimes I even use less fruit than that. But anyway, I was doing the green smoothie cleanse and I was following on the Facebook page and I just got really involved and I started doing her challenges to the point where I actually became a green smoothie cleanse leader. And yeah, so I've gone to several of her events in Washington, D.C., and we had a wonderful time. Wonderful lady. She had some great programs. She brought people in to teach us how to cook clean, healthy meals. And so between Joe Cross, Ideal Protein, and JJ Smith, I really started learning more about reading labels, eating the leafy greens, eating the more healthy foods, and staying away from the box foods and staying away from the stuff in the middle of the store, shop the aisles. So I've been shopping the aisles probably since 2011. I learned a lot from those 3 programs. And if you follow me on Facebook, you've seen the evidence of it. I have pulled out my juicer and made juice on video live on Facebook. I've pulled out my blender and made my smoothies. So I've been sharing this with you guys for a very long time. And the journey is real. I've been learning more and more about eating the natural foods and not the processed foods. Because as I've said before, Big Pharma doesn't care about us. The food industry doesn't care about us. Nobody cares about us. Freedom doesn't care about me right now because he wants to play and he's growling. You probably hear him. That's my Shih Tzu. So we're going to take a quick break and let Freedom get what he needs. Hold one. So also during this journey, we're back. So also during this journey of becoming healthy, at one point I decided I'm just going to give up meat. So I did. I stopped eating meat. And I wasn't going to be a vegan or a vegetarian. I don't like labels. I was just not going to eat meat. Well, the first time I tried this, I would go out into the stores and look for all these meat substitutes. And they got Morningstar and all these other things that make fake chicken nuggets and fake sausages and fake meatballs. And most of it's full of soy. Well, before I knew it, that soy had sent me and my rheumatoid arthritis like running to the doctor. I was so full of pain not knowing that the soy had done it. So I said, well, forget that. I'm not giving up meat. So I went back to meat. That was a very short-lived journey. Well, then I decided to give up beef because beef sits in your colon for a very long time and it doesn't digest as quickly as other meats. So I gave up beef for a year. And I celebrated that end of that year by having the best hamburger ever made. I don't know if you're familiar with Eddie Murphy and the joke he does about his mama making the hamburger with the peppers and the onions in it. And he didn't want that. He wanted the McDonald's hamburger. Well, I made that Eddie Murphy mama hamburger. Honey, baby, I had the onions and everything in this hamburger. It was the best hamburger I had eaten in my entire life. It was delicious. Let me tell you what, it was num, 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 num. I ate that hamburger. And about 3 hours later, I wanted God to come and get me right then. I was sick as a dog. I was Googling all night long. Lord, help me. What's wrong? What happened? I ate a hamburger. I've been beef-free for a year. Well, I finally contacted my sister, who's a biology major. And she said, well, yeah, you don't have any more protease in your system to digest the beef. And that's what happened. So anyway, needless to say, that was the last day I ate beef. So I had done a year no beef, ate beef one day, and I've been beef-free for about 10 years now. So anyway, that was part of the journey of getting healthy. I gave up the beef. But I was still eating the processed meats, the lunch meats, the sausages, the bacon, those things that are full of all kind of stuff. And we'll talk about the stuff later. But right now, I'm just going to say I was eating all this processed meat. A lot of sodium and a lot of other things packed in. So, anybody want a puppy? He's not a puppy. He's 4. Hold one. We're back. So I gave up beef. I've been beef-free for 10 years. And about 4 years ago, I decided once again to give up meat. And I did. And I've met people say, oh, you're a vegan. No, I'm not a vegan. I wear leather. I wear fur. I am not a vegan. I am not a member of PETA. It doesn't bother me that someone kills animals for food. I'm not on that I am not a vegetarian. I am not a pescatarian. I am a person who has made conscious choices on what I will and will not eat. If I decide one day that I'm going to eat these things, I will eat these things. I've just chosen not to eat the things. Now, since I've stopped eating the things, when I would have those night sweats, all of that stopped. And I'm convinced that a lot of that was from the hormones that was being fed to some of these animals that I was eating. I can't prove it. I don't know it. Not a scientist, not a doctor. I'm just going by what my body did differently. So I stopped having night sweats. And so if that's the price of giving up meat, then I'm good with it. So anyway, but what I learned on my journey with Joe Cross and JJ Smith was, don't go try to find the substitutes for the meat. If you're going to live without the meat, then eat the vegetables. Eat the vegetables. And so that's what I was doing. I started just eating the vegetables. But I did not give up the breads and the pastas and the rice and those things. Because as I said, bread, potatoes, and rice, that's my life. So love those things. And so I found it hard to give those things up because I love them. But I was eating the leafy greens and the other greens, the broccolis and the green beans and the different kind of leafy greens, because I enjoy that stuff. I really do. Salads. And so that became what I was doing. And again, repeatedly, people tried to label what I was doing, but I refused to wear the label. But it's part of my healthy journey. And then I did finally give up foods that were white. I gave up the breads, the rices, the potatoes. Every now and then I'm going to still have me a little bit of potato, but I can let the rice and the bread go. And so we're going to end here because Freedom has decided he wants to have his own podcast. But we're going to end with me talking about, let's recap. We've talked about my journey through supporting the billion-dollar industry with the AIDS candy, the Slim Fast, the Nutrisystem, the boiled eggs, the cabbage soup, the Ideal Protein, the Joe Cross and the juicing, the JJ Smith and the smoothies. And when we come back, I'm going to talk about something that I've been doing recently that has helped me to move my health to another level. So I look forward to seeing you then. And please forgive Freedom. And maybe he'll be here next time, or maybe I'll give him away. Just kidding. I'm not giving him away. He's my favorite furry thing. But anyway, take care. This has been another episode of Small Doses with Lara Sell, where we keep it real, even with our dog who keeps it real. And I look forward to seeing you. Click like, click share. Tell your friends to tune in. Bye.